Group 1, we are interested in tackling the Exxon Valdez oil spill that occurred on March 24, 1989 in Prince William Sound, Alaska. Exxon Valdez, an oil tanker, struck below a reef, and the impact of the collision caused a tear on the ship's hull, causing 11 million gallons of crude oil to spill into the water. At the time, the Exxon Valdez was the largest single oil spill in the U.S. water. Initial attempts to contain the spill failed, and within the month that followed, the oil slick spread about 1,300 miles along the coast. The spill posed threats to the delicate food chain that supported local commercial fishing industries, tourism, and wildlife. It killed hundreds of thousands of migratory shorebirds, sea otters, harbor seals, killer whales, and salmon eggs, as well as severely impacted the mental, economical, and physical well-being of the locals. This is why a One Health approach that incorporates the collaborative efforts of multiple health sciences, professions, and disciplines is needed to tackle the various problems caused by the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Exxon Valdez was not held legally accountable for their actions in causing this man-made disaster. The cleanup efforts were ineffective at restoring the coastal line, causing many to face financial hardship with the loss of fishing and tourism. Mental health among locals declined, and rates of depression, suicide, and divorce increased. In an effort to prevent future oil corporations from taking zero accountability for disasters like Exxon Valdez, our top-down approaches include working with organizations that lobby for stricter regulations on oil transportation and require the legal system to be firmer, and the government to establish policies that will hold oil corporations accountable for efficient restorative efforts and require them to work with wildlife organizations to ensure safety. Emergency plans should be established ahead of time, including details such as where the animals will be transported and what the rehabilitation timeline looks like. Government financial assistance programs to support those who have lost their livelihoods or are struggling should be enacted. Lastly, mental health resources such as therapy and counselors should be made readily available for the locals who have been emotionally, financially, and physically impacted by these oil spill disasters.
Our bottom-up solution will focus on the mental health of community members and the rehabilitation of wildlife. We will implement group therapy sessions that will allow anyone in the community to join to discuss hardships they've faced since the oil spill. Additionally, we will use community volunteers and get local businesses involved in tracking the growth of wildlife in the area. We will focus our efforts on specific locations where native fish species are located. From there, we will track the amount of fish spotted in those areas and the growth of native plants weekly to ensure that the ecosystems are reviving as the oil content in the water decreases.
The solutions provided previously require the work of a well-oiled system in coordination with other disciplines. So what are some roadblocks and feasible solutions? Roadblocks in our path include finding a stable source of funding and building an efficient and cost-effective wildlife program that can survive as a nonprofit staffed on a volunteer basis. Additionally, any legislation put forth can be created with loopholes that serve in the oil company's best interest. Lastly, if community members are using the cleanup process, this can lead to the decline of their own mental health. However, building strong ties with the local government will help keep companies accountable and help fund government programs that can aid both citizens and surrounding wildlife. Additionally, involving human and animal health officials in building the legislature will help build policy beneficial to all parties. Another way to raise funds is through the education on the issue of oil spills. This will help publicize the issue. Also, using organizations from outside the community will not only aid in the rehabilitation of the environment, but also alleviate stress in the community and revitalize the local economy.
Oil spills have a significant impact on sea otters, causing death from hypothermia and from licking the oil off of their furs. Since that same environment is interconnected with humans through various human behaviors, we can note that the Exxon oil spill not only has an impact on marine life, but it also has the potential to affect human health as well. That being said, the community gains a number of benefits through the communication between doctors, public health, and government officials. Communication is a key component when focusing on an outreach plan for this issue. That is why it is important that there is a common cultural understanding and that there are translators for any language barriers. It is crucial to educate the public on the event that has taken place and how the oil spill impacts the environment. Conducting workshops, seminars, and presentations allow us to discuss the relationship between human and animal health to the public. We can use social media to spread awareness and create a message about the Exxon oil spill to communicate with citizens around the globe. To inform the public, we can share the history of the oil spill via social networking sites to provide information and dispense million brochures around the local and neighboring cities.